Every person injured in Kentucky in a car accident is covered by Kentucky's no-fault law. But that doesn't mean there's no such thing as fault. Would you like to know what no fault really means in Kentucky? Hi, I'm Brad Harville, Kentucky car accident and no-fault attorney, practicing law in the state of Kentucky. Kentucky no-fault is a set of statutory laws that applies to any car wrecks in Kentucky where people are injured. It's been around since 1975. What it was designed to do is provide for people injured in car wrecks to get paid by their own car insurance companies for their medical bills and lost wages, regardless of whether the wreck may have been another driver's fault. Now, why is that? Why should your own car insurance company pay for your medical bills and lost wages instead of the person who caused the accident? Well, that's because the legislature wanted to make sure injured people had some coverage for their bills and wages regardless of fault. They didn't want people who are at fault not to have any coverage for their injuries, and they didn't want people who were not at fault to have to argue with the other side's insurance company over who was at fault. The important thing you need to know about Kentucky's no-fault law is that it is limited. In almost every case, it only applies to medical bills and lost wages, and it only applies up to a certain amount. The basic coverage required is up to $10,000 for each person injured in a car accident. Lost wages benefits are limited to a maximum of only $200 per week. $10,000 was a lot of money back in 1975. 40 years later, it's not so much. Medical bills run a lot higher in 2015 than they did back in 1975. But you can buy what they call added no-fault coverage. This is all the Kentucky no-fault really means. There's no fault for the first $10,000 of your medical bills and lost wages. Your own car insurance company covers that. But no fault does not apply to everything else. That means if you've been injured in a Kentucky car wreck and you just have the basic no-fault coverage and someone else is at fault, the person at fault is liable for your medical bills and lost wages over $10,000. They're also liable for your future medical bills, any permanent impairment of your earning power, and your pain and suffering. So why am I sharing this important information with you? It's because I realize you may be watching because you've been injured in a Kentucky car wreck, and I want you to have a better understanding of what Kentucky no-fault really means. If you would like more information about Kentucky no-fault, just pick up the phone and call me, 502-245-2333, or send me an email to bdh@harvillelaw.com. I wrote the book on Kentucky's no-fault law, 20 questions about Kentucky no-fault. I'll be glad to answer your questions, and I'll even be glad to send you a signed copy of my book. I used to provide this information to insurance companies, but now I've written this book for anyone who's been injured in a Kentucky car wreck and wants to know more about their rights under Kentucky's no-fault law. That's today's Kentucky Personal Injury Minute. I'm Brad Harville, and I hope you have a great day.